What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Listening to the Hump Day Vibes. This is Andrew Atakpo, and today, man, there's some important stuff I want to talk about. Some really, really crucial things that we all deal with each and every day on a daily, yearly, monthly basis, weekly basis. And what's crazy is with this particular thing, something that you will look up and you know people. We all know people that, man, they're in the same spot, the same position, the same area that they've been in for years because of this false mindset or false reality of thinking that, hey, it's got to be perfect in order to take this action. It's got to be perfect in order to do this thing, and it's that waiting game, unfortunately, that takes over, and it never materializes into anything. So what I'm talking about, guys, today is it's talking about timing. Timing. You've heard of this before. We've all said it before. It's not the right time. I'm waiting on the right time. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for that. And man, it's dawned on me that really there's never, of course, the right time, right? There's never the perfect moment, a perfect time for really anything, right? But we as people tell ourselves that so often, and it's something that I was literally so. Come to think of this, it just hit me the other day. I got to share this, but I just had hopped in the shower. I went to the gym, came back, and just had hopped in the shower. It's supposed to be a quick shower. I got to get to a couple of appointments coming up. And what happened was I was standing in the shower, right, waiting for the water to get warm before I officially jump into the water, right. And I was like, in my head, I was like, man, I don't have time to wait. I'm almost running behind. I got to just jump in, and I did, right. And at that moment, I was like, man, that's just like life. Like literally, too many of us are sitting on the sideline, the sideline of life, in any area, waiting for the right time, waiting for the water to warm up, waiting for things to get a little smoothed out, or a little bit maybe more tested, or a little bit more in line with what we feel like is then okay. It's good now. It's okay. It's more people have been in it. They've joined. I can do it now, right? Or maybe it's will appear to be easier as I wait longer, right? So it just had hit me in that moment in the shower, right? Sorry to kind of have that story here, but this is just how it came about, and I was like, I got to share this, like, because that's literally every part of life is where so many times, and I've been there so many times myself personally, right? I'm gonna share a few of those coming up here, but we sit and we wait for the right time to do something, right? Whether it's big or small, but that small thing can become a big thing because we've waited too long, and that big thing just becomes an even bigger thing, right? Because we waited that long to take action or to do it, right? So I had to jump into the shower, the cold water, right? It was a little uneasy, it was a little uncomfortable, and we can all raise our hand on a cold shower or cold water. It's not the most appealing, right? Many times we've done that before. I've done it many times, but I had to just jump in, right? And I was like, that's just like life. That's just like so many moments that we all go through. We got to just jump in and go. And 9 times out of 10, when we do that, one, we adjust so fast. So it's like, why was I so hesitant to jump in? But 2, it's like we're more than happy that we did when we did. And we're like, I should have done it even sooner because the benefits have reaped and became an amazing thing. And we've experienced it sooner than later, and that's always a better thing. So I want to backtrack here. So when we talk about that life and waiting on timing, we all think that it's going to line up and there's going to be this magic moment, right? Where it's like, okay, something, it's written on the wall for us to say, oh, we can jump in now, we can do it now, I can take the action now, I can go about what I want to do now because it's on the wall, right? I've seen it, it's okay, I feel the right timing, right? So sometimes that may be the case, but most of the time what happens is we all procrastinate and continue to procrastinate, and that thing that we should have done years ago has never been done. Raise your hand if you're out there that this is you, right? Or you've been there. There's something that you still haven't done today that you should have done a month ago, right? 2 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, raise your hand. I think we all have more than one thing that's the case. And so I want to share that because the sooner we take action and move forward on it, the better for your personal life, for your professional life, for your family life, for everything. And so a couple examples for me, right? I want to share the good and the bad. So for me personally, some things I've looked back on that, man, I am so happy that I did jump in and take action on, because looking back, it's amazing, right? So one would be talk about taking the leap and proposing, right, to my wife, right? Taking the leap and getting engaged, right? And then getting married. There was, for me, the and I think a lot of men can attest to this, but waiting for the right time, right? Or the right moment, or we can wait a little bit longer, another year, never happens, right? Or I don't feel completely ready yet. Once I get this right job, or a little bit more money in the bank, or once I hit this certain age, then I'll get married, right? Or then I'll propose, whatever it is. But time ticks on, things move on, things are going to happen, and nothing's guaranteed, right? That special someone may move on. They might say, this person's waiting too long, I'm ready, and they move on because it's been too long. Or, right, just not having the full on experience of living life with your spouse, your love completely, right, as one, because you're waiting too long, and it's still kind of in that in between of dating, but not, we're together, but we're not, but that whole thing, right? So I don't want to dive too deep into relationships or anything like that, but that's an example of just taking action. I'm so happy when I did, and just went forward and did it, right? And now it's like, here we are, fast forward, and building the life together, and the life of our dreams, and enjoying it and loving it, and building it as one and as a unit. And so it's a beautiful thing. I'm so happy I did that, right? So that's one example. Another example would be, and I hear this quite a bit, right? I work in finance, financial advisor, and I hear this quite a bit in general. So many people talk about buying a home, right? The housing market, whether it's buying a primary residence or investment property or rental property, any of those types of things. They say, well, I'm just waiting for the market, right, to crash, and the market to go down, or just the decrease in home value to just happen. I'm waiting for that, right? I've heard it so many times, and I'm sure we've said it. I've almost been there, right? But the reality is that one that actually may not even ever happen, right? Most people are waiting for 2007, 2008, the big recession, right? We're waiting for that, the Great Recession. But reality is that may never happen, right? No one knows, of course, but seeing the landscape of where we're at, we'll most likely see some type of dip, right? But to see what we saw 10 or 13 years ago, it might not ever happen. And so for someone to wait on the sidelines for this perfect moment to get in and buy a home, you may be waiting for 5-10 years. You may be waiting for forever. It may never happen. And so it's just a matter of getting in and making things happen, because at the end of the day, we've seen it just like investing. Things appreciate, things go up, and they will continue to go up over time historically, right? And so same thing with homes. And so just getting in when you're able to and holding on is going to be that much more beneficial than trying to sit on the sidelines and wait for years to make this leap, and then it never happens. So I say that because I've experienced that so often with people I work with and talk to, and they want to make these goals happen and these investments happen, but they sit on the side. And that's the same thing with stocks, like I mentioned, right? Everyone's waiting for the perfect timing to time the market. It's not, you can't do it. It's not possible. You can't time the market, right? You can get lucky here and there, but to be able to get in and then get back out and get back in, it doesn't happen. And so I want to share that, because it goes back to the timing and the waiting game. You just have to get in. You just have to take action and go. And so my personal example there is just my wife and I buying our home last year, beginning of 2020 in February, and we were almost going to sit back and wait, because everything going on, and the market was 10 years running of going up, and then be some talks about COVID coming around, right? That was early on, but so much in the air. There's always so much in the air, so much going on, and so You just never know. But we almost pulled out of looking and decided to just not buy and just wait. And so happy that we bought, right? We bought, closed in the end of February, been homeowners for a year and a half, a little bit more. And it's, we've seen how the market's been. People know how the market's been the last year and a half, right? It's been wild. It's been crazy appreciation, everything. And so it's like, imagine if we waited to try and get in, and then it just continues to go up, and it's like, okay, then what? We most likely would have kept waiting, right? And it's just like, it's a reoccurring cycle. And so sure, it might dip at some point, but again, the flip side is when people wait when it's dipping, they say, well, I don't want to buy too soon now, because going down, it might go down sooner, or it might go down more. So I might want to wait until I can get it at the very bottom. But it's like, no one knows that. Next thing you know, you missed the dip and it goes back up, right? So the whole point is just not sitting, not waiting, not taking too much time to analysis paralysis, but taking action, right? There's never a right time, but you create the right time. You create the best time, and the timing is created, I believe, truly on your own time, right? It's a matter of taking advantage of what's out there and just taking action and going. And so that's another example there of so happy that I did take action and did not wait. Another big personal thing in my life. And so I wanted to share that as well, like I said. And so those are some pros there of taking action and timing things up. And one that's on the flip side of not doing it and waiting is one with my actual career, my lifestyle, my passion, what I do. As I mentioned, as a financial advisor, I personally, out of college, had the opportunity to get into the industry and to get into being able to help people with their finances and their goals and their wealth accumulation, right? And all these things, generational wealth. And I swerved away from it, if you will. And, many things factored into that of fear and doubt and, oh, maybe I should just wait and hone my skills or whatever it is, right? And so I waited. I took time and waited 4 or 5 years before I ever circled back to it and said, I gotta go, I gotta take action and do this. And thanks to several people I know and some mentors and some people that I've had conversations with over the past years that helped me take that leap of faith into it. But just the example there of, on the flip side of how I look back, and like, obviously I'm so happy and glad I'm in it now, but again, I can look back and say, well, man, imagine if I would have started 5 years ago, right? Where would I be, or at what level would I be at, or what other additional journey could I have enjoyed having started then? So just an example of both ends, right? The good of starting, the good of taking action, because you look back and like, I'm so happy I did it. It's the best thing ever. Yes, I'm going to do more because of that. And then the bad of just waiting, and then hopefully you finally started, but of course you have some regret of, man, I wish I would have done this sooner. So again, it just circles back to, there's never a right time, there's never a perfect moment, there's never going to be the absolute shining moment of this is the time. You create that, you make that happen, and you make it go forward just by taking action. So don't sit around, don't wait. Take action, jump into the cold water, jump into the scary moments, the fearful moments. You can do it, you can make it happen. It all starts from internally and goes outwards. I want to share that with everybody today. It's so crucially important to remember that, because again, where do you want to be in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Where do you want to be when you're an old man or woman looking back on your life? Do you want to be in a spot where you're like, I'm still waiting for this to happen, right? The right time. Oh, I guess the right time never came, so I never was supposed to do it, right? Like, that's not the way to live in my eyes. In my eyes, it's to take action and go and make it the right time. Things are going to come up regardless. It's going to be the ebbs and the flows, the good and the bad, the struggles, the challenges, and also the peak of things, right? The amazing moments and the joy and the elation. So it's going to happen regardless, but you got to take action and make it the life that you want to live. So I want to share that today with you guys, with everyone out there, guys and gals. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Once again, you're listening to Hump Day Vibes. This is Andrew Atakpo, and just remember, it's time to take action. The time is now. There's no other better time, right? The next best time, the first best time was yesterday. The next best time is today. So take action. Don't wait. If you do have a true plan on something, follow the plan, stick to it, and then line things up to take action, right? I understand that there's some times where timing may actually not be the best, but if you have a plan around it and you have the proper steps to then get to the point where you are taking the action, then I get that and understand that and follow through with it. But don't continue to push that plan down the road of, the timing still hasn't showed up, so I'm gonna just keep pushing my plan down. No, draw it out, have a set time. This is the day, this is the time, this is the moment when I'm taking action, and take the action. Or if you haven't done any of that, today's the best day to do it. Take action today. Reach your goals, reach your dreams, live your best life. All right, y'all. Take care. This is the Hump Day Vibes. This is the Andrew Atakpo. Have a great rest of your week. Adios.